Hi guys. Right, I'm back. It's Kelly from True Wish Fabrics, and I don't know about you, but the weather is getting colder here. Now, as a rugbyman myself, there is nothing worse than cold hands on a Sunday morning while I'm stood watching my son play rugby. So I wanted to share with you a really quick and easy project that you can make from home. These little hand warmers are really cute and they're perfect for popping in your pocket. Little hands as well. My little girls use them in their pockets on the way to school in the morning when we walk up. So today we're going to do a little tutorial on how to make these. They're so quick and easy, you'll be making them in no time. So we start with 2 pieces of fabric. Now I cut mine at 4 inches, 4 by 4 inches, so you end up with these squares. I've got a thread on there. So we get 2 of these and we place them right sides together. So you have the patterns facing each other and the wrong side of the fabric will be facing outwards. And you can see in there the right side's inside. And then all I do is just pop a pin in a couple of locations just to help hold that in place while I'm sewing them. It helps keep them nice and straight as well and give you some nice corners. So let me do that. So there you go, just popped a few pins in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to sew all the way around, but we're going to leave a gap here along the bottom of about an inch, inch and a half. And remember to reverse sew at the beginning and the end. It helps to secure the stitches and stop it from unravelling when we turn it the right way in a minute. So I use a 1/4 inch seam for this bit. You can use 1/2 inch seam, it will just make it a little bit smaller. And just remember when you get to the corners to drop your needle and pivot so you get a nice neat corner. Right, so you can see there that I've stitched all the way around the square. We've got a gap here at the bottom and I've reverse sewed over these first and last few stitches just to keep it in place. Now the next step is just to trim your corners off. We don't want to cut through the stitching, but we just want to remove the excess bulk fabric from those corners. When we turn it the right way, it will make them much easier and neater as well. Right, so you can see now I've trimmed all my corners, making sure not to go through the stitching, and we're now going to turn it the right way through the gap that we left in the middle. And then you want to find something that's quite blunt but with a pointed end. Things like chopsticks are really good. I like to use my dessert spoon, my sundae spoon, because it's got a longer handle. It helps me point out those corners, but it's not going to rip through the corner or the stitches like a pair of scissors would. So you can now see that it's looking like a nice little square. It's turned the right way out. And now the next step to do is to pop some rice in there. Now it's up to you how much you want to put in. I tend to go about half, fill it halfway, 2/3 maximum really. 1, you want the rice to be able to move around and hold the heat, but 2, you need to be able to sew it shut as well. And if it's packed to the brim, we won't be able to get it under the sewing machine feet. So I like to just use a spoon, pop it in a bowl and scoop it in. I have got a funnel as well, but I tend to use that for the bigger items, not these small ones. It doesn't take 2 seconds to fill them. It's always a nice messy job where you find rice all over the place. No matter how careful I think I'm being, I can still find it floating around. So you can see now that I've got just over half of the bag filled with rice. Can you see that there? I don't know if that's a good way to show you, but just over halfway. And we want to make sure that where we have our gap, that the fabric on the inside, the extra fabric's turned in, and that creates a really nice straight edge. So you can press that, but I don't think we're going to need to on this one. It's sitting quite flat. So pop a pin in it to help hold it while you start sewing and getting it in place under your sewing machine. And we're just going to sew along this line here We're going to reverse sew at the beginning and end just to make sure it's extra strong. So straight across in a nice straight stitch. I use a stitch length of 3 because I like to make sure it's nice and tight and we're not going to lose any rice, so it's not going to leak through. Take my pin out. So you can see there I've just stitched all the way across the bottom, and then you just need to trim off your extra threads. I don't have my little scissors to hand, and there you go. There's your hand warmer. Now these take about a minute to warm up in the microwave, but what I recommend is that you put them in for 20 seconds, check them, 20 seconds, check them. It's going to stop you from them getting too hot, and in order to prevent scorching, it's always worth popping a little bowl of water, a small jug, a little bowl in with it, and it will just prevent the rice from scorching. Now you can use wheat or flaxseed for these. I like rice because it's readily available and it's less likely to attract weevils like wheat does, but it's completely your choice. You could even pop some lavender in there if you want to. So hopefully this is a nice little sewing project for you to be working on over the coming weeks in the colder months. I'd love to see any that you make. Pop them in our Facebook group on Facebook. Yeah. Pop them on our Facebook group. It's called Trueish Fabrics. You should be able to find us or tag us on Instagram, and I will be writing a pattern for this as well, so I'll pop I will pop the link. Goodness gracious, my words have gone today. I will put the link in the comments below so that you can find it if you need it. So thank you for watching, and I hope you take care. Bye.